take. And to some, they have very good stories of how they started from scratch and built their empires to profitability. And that's the reason why Bizna Kenya and MC Moments have partnered to bring you Biz Talks. Biz Talks. And here we shall be hosting mentors, people who have gone ahead of us, people who have created these empires, people who have also on the verge of creating these particular big businesses. And these lessons will be valuable for you, the business person, for you, the aspiring business person, the entrepreneur, so that at least you can make wise decisions when it comes to building that business. So every Friday at 8 a.m. on all business platforms, that's the Facebook and YouTube channel, and of course MC Moments. Now, today is amazing because I have never held a conversation with the kind of number of people I have today. Yeah, that's why I had to bring in a new table, and I'll be showing you that later on. Today we're talking about women, SMEs, and intercounty trade. Yes, and we have 3 guests in the house. And wow, at least today we have a product to munch as we go, courtesy of Ezavi Foods, I tell you. So, these are my guests. I hope you can see them now. These are all my guests right here. Asanteni sana, karibuni sana. But as usual here on Biz Talks, before we start, we always have to warm you up. We know that you had to come from far and it's cold. So I asked you to peep here. I don't know whether you made some choice, courtesy of Melvin's. We normally have an amazing conglomerate here of drinks. What are you going to have?
Hibiscus.
Hibiscus?
Yes, it's my favorite.
Close to me now. Give my ideas. What are you going to have in this here?
Tangawizi.
Tangawizi?
Yes. Conservative man.
What about you, Betty?
Green tea.
Green tea.
Yes.
So, I'm making an assumption. So we have some milk, some water. Anyone who's taking some milk?
No.
Or are you all doing water?
Water.
Water for me.
And anyone has sugar?
No sugar. No sugar for me.
I guess I got to convert me. I'm also going to take sugar.
No, sugar is not bad.
It's not bad,
If you
right?
love it, why not?
Just flip your cups. And go
You
to
need
pour.
the energy.
Okay.
Yeah. Just flip your cups and go to pour water for you. And if you're watching, please click on that share button on Facebook, even YouTube as well, on all business platforms, MC Moments as well. Tell a friend to tell a friend that today the house is full. It has never been this full, and we are going to have an amazing conversation to know. If you're doing business, by the way, what are the challenges you're facing if you have to cross counties? I hear business people complaining, some of them saying they're paying levies by the way, Mutisia. I've had people saying some of them have to be charged anytime they're crossing from county to county. Oh yeah, now, have you picked the tea? Let me, I tell you the house is full today, so I have to do these things.
You have to do the
So
man.
as
So
you
you're taking a Tangawizi.
yes.
Yes.
Someone else is taking a hibiscus.
Yes, thank
I'm also
you.
doing hibiscus today.
Wow.
What do you think you're taking?
Green tea.
Oh, green tea. You're the special one today.
Yes.
Wow, lovely. Enjoy as we
Thank
flow.
you.
So there you have it. House is full today, and we're going to have some fun as we get to learn. So, as usual, please share this conversation out. And if you're watching, please let me know where you are, so that at least we can give you a shout out and say hello and thanks a lot. Feel free to ask as many questions as you can. I want to start from my furthest end. You had me calling her Betty, but I will ask her the same question. Who is she and what does she do? So Betty, please.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I am Betty Mudaura. I'm Human Resource and Administration Manager,
Okay.
Nolda Industries Limited.
Yeah.
I'm also a committee member, Kenya Association of Manufacturers, Lower Eastern Region. I'm actually the treasurer.
Wow.
Thank you.
You're the money person. There you have it. And the only, okay, I'm also the gentleman, but the only guest gentleman in the house.
Okay. Thanks for the opportunity.
Yes.
I'm Samuel Mutisia.
Yeah.
I'm passionate about devolution.
Yeah.
I advise the Kenya Association of Manufacturers on devolution issues,
Yeah.
as well as our over 1,200 members,
Yeah.
and also sit at the board of Kenya Private Sector Alliance,
Yeah.
advising them as well on devolution issues, seconded from the manufacturer side.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lovely. And the lady on the ground.
Thank you so much, Maina. It's a
Yeah.
pleasure meeting you.
Absolutely.
My name is Paulino Kubasu. I am the CEO and founder of Azavi Foods.
Yeah.
Azavi Foods is in manufacturing, agribusiness sector. We process fruits into healthy snacks.
Wow, lovely.
Thank you.
And by the way, guys, when you see this table looking all this smart, we have a lot of Azavi here.
Yes.
And I'll be doing some tasting, and I'll let you know. But you know, we have met again before.
Yes.
There was a time you did a very powerful interview some time back about Azavi Foods, and so
Yes,
we're so
thank
glad
you.
to have you here. Please enjoy your tea as we do all this. And you know, Mutisa, I'll first of all start with you. And I know I'm just jumping into the
Yes.
conversation right
Yes.
in between, no order at all.
Yes.
We have businesses, and I tell you, sometimes I sit around tables with businesses and they just complain sometimes, you know. First of all, doing business with counties, people sometimes shrink because
Yes.
what? You never know. This is Gava. They might not pay. I
Yes.
don't know when. That's one of the things. But
Yes.
also the inter-county relations. I
Yes.
don't know, what's the status from where you sit, first of all? Can you paint for us a picture? How is it? Is it very rosy for business people to just
Yes.
go down?
Yes.
Or do we have some issues we need to sort?
Okay, so thanks for that. Before I start off, let me say that devolution was the best thing that happened to Kenya.
Absolutely.
When 66% of us voted for that constitution in 2010,
Yeah.
we envisioned a better Kenya
Yes.
for all of us.
Yeah.
However, 11 years down the line,
Uh-huh.
we have had a mixed bag of issues around devolution.
Yeah.
One, the citizens are very happy
Uh-huh.
because of the issue around the change that we are seeing and
Mhm.
the documenting of the various stories
Yeah.
around devolution.
Yeah.
However, coming from the private sector side and my interaction with manufacturers,
Yes.
one of the things that was envisioned in the constitution was Article 2095,
Yeah.
which is about seamless movement of goods and services
Mhm.
from one county to the next. And if I can just paint to you a picture,
Yeah.
if you are traveling from Mombasa all the way to Kisumu without you having an issue.
Yeah.
But that has not really happened.
Mhm.
One, because we have had an opportunity whereby some counties are manufacturing centric.
Mhm.
For example, today Nairobi has over 60%
Yeah.
of guys who do manufacturing.
Absolutely.
And again, there are some counties that are not as well endowed like the rest of the manufacturing centric counties.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when the National Treasury or when the Commission on Revenue Allocation tells
Mhm.
counties,
Mhm.
you need to collect more and stop on relying on the national government, what do the counties do? They have to get creative.
Absolutely.
So we are faced with challenges whereby if a county, and if I can just outline a few,
Yeah. Please go ahead.
where you are based as a business person, you're
Uh-huh.
expected to pay a single business permit by virtue of the service you get from the county you're based from.
Yes.
You will be expected to pay something around garbage because of the collection being undertaken by private sector
Yes.
or the public sector notwithstanding.
Absolutely.
Something about fire. The turnaround time, time of the fire engine notwithstanding. However, now the issue comes around when you need to move from the county where you are based to
Yeah.
another county.
Yeah.
So there you'll be faced with something called branding,
Absolutely.
which they tell you if, for example, you are Azavi on order and you have a lorry written Azavi on order,
Yes.
they will tell you you're advertising
You're
on the
advertising.
way.
You gotta pay something for this.
Yeah, you gotta pay something for this.
Oh my goodness.
Then now moving along at the point whereby you are just moving, you have yet to offload your good, eh?
Yeah.
So as you move to the next point, you'll find one of the barriers that is put there,
Yeah.
and you may be charged a cess.
Absolutely.
And then as you move to your customer, who has also paid a single business permit where they are based in, you'll be told to pay parking fee,
Oh my.
offloading fee,
Mhm.
distribution license, and in some counties, they also insist, since the lorry itself is a business,
Mhm.
you'll also be required to pay the other three charges I've mentioned: single business permit, garbage fee, fire. So you can imagine how hectic it is if you are trying to manage your capital and
Absolutely.
inflow of goods where
Absolutely.
you are based at the resident county.
Absolutely.
And now that you have a lorry to move around Kenya,
Yeah.
the same cost will be transferred.
You're right.
And before I conclude, just some research that we did,
Mhm.
on average, it costs around 1.2 million for you to undertake business within the counties in Kenya. That is besides the cost of charges you pay at the county that you're
Oh
visiting.
my goodness. Nah,
Yes.
that's crazy.
Crazy.
Yes.
So that's the best word to use it. That's crazy, you know.
Yes.
And I don't know if you're watching, whether you have had some experiences with doing business with counties, you know. And I would like to hear that. Let me first of all give a bit of a shout out for guys who are watching. Thanks a lot for all your comments. Samuel Muganda, Wambulwa, you have joined. Thanks a lot. Where are you, by the way? Let me know. Messi Sum as well. Okay. Oh, can you hear me? I hope you can hear me well. I think she was trying to say she wants to hear me better.
Okay.
Samuel Muganda as well. Hey, okay. Excellent, excellent. Lansky Bell, South Africa, Johannesburg is here. Noah Osigo, amazing. Thanks a lot for that. So, Azavi, I want to call you that today. I know you have a name, but you know, your product sometimes shouts a lot.
Thank you, the brand.
Did you just hear what is happening on the counties? How has been your experience, first of all? You have amazing products, first of all, so let's go ahead. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it was quite a shocker.
Mm-hmm.
I had been manufacturing at Kirdi.
Yeah.
So in that space, you're in incubation, so you're being nurtured, you're being taken care of. Any information that you need, any technical assistance that you need, Kirdi was there to do it for me.
Yeah.
So in 2020 December, I ventured out into my own space, which is in Lower Eastern County.
Yeah.
And so that's where now it really hit me that devolution,
Yeah.
the devolution that they talk about, isn't really what it is.
Yeah.
So first was trying to get information. So I went to the county offices, and I was trying to identify what do I really need to start off. And I got conflicting information from different officers. So that really gave me a lot. It was really confusing.
Yeah.
So what I did, since I'm a member of CAM under the SME Hub,
Yes.
I called Nduta and I called Joyce, and they were ready to assist me. So I got a contact that I could talk to, someone senior. So that's when I realized that the senior people have so much information. I mean, they're good at what they say,
Yes.
but the people on the ground who are supposed to be assisting us
Yes.
do not have that information. So he came to the premises
Yes.
just before I began, and he started telling me, now you know what, this place does not have enough lighting.
my
You need to
goodness.
demolish one side of the wall in order to have enough lighting inside. Then next, they're like, you need your own washrooms, because the space we are in, there are many other shops around there. So they said, since I'm handling food, I cannot share the same amenities with the rest of the community there. So I had not factored that in, so I had to put that in.
Yes.
Then I'd put some plants in the facility, and they said the plants have to go out because you cannot mix that with food. There was so much. There was about garbage collection. There was I was told I have to pay for that. The single permit. So even the single permit, when I was looking for information on how much I'm supposed to pay, I also got conflicting information. One person tells me 8,000, another person is telling me 30,000, another person is telling me 50,000 because I'm in manufacturing. As in, it was all conflicting. Then there was the issue of water.
Yes.
I have to recycle water. So which means you have to bring in an element that recycles, helps in recycling. And I'm just like, okay, this is too costly. Already there's a wall to be demolished.
Yes.
How do I do that?
Yeah.
I mean, where is all this information? There's the health license, there's the food handlers certificates that each all my production staff need to have.
Absolutely.
So when I sat back, I was just like, I need almost over $1 million for me to be able to just take off.
You're right.
Yeah. So the information is not there. If information was there where you can, it's sort of click at a button, just like Huduma Center, where you go in and you get everything done, that would be quite easy. Because even as I am planning, I'll be able to plan, I'll be able to budget. So when I'm starting off, I know how much I'm supposed to have. Because at some point I had to go looking for extra money from family and friends for me just to be able to set up.
You sound like you can write a book about it.
Yes, it is crazy. Then, of course, during COVID, we know what happened. Most of like the plantains and the pineapples, I would get them from Uganda. That's where I started off from. Then during lockdown, of course, they closed the borders, and I had now to look for information on where can I get source the raw materials.
You're right.
Here in Kenya, who are the farmers
Yeah.
that I can get the raw materials from?
Yeah.
And you know, if I'm saying supporting, like on my packaging, I say supporting Kenyan farmers, and I'm happy that I'm 100% doing that. So that's the best thing that COVID did for me, that now I'm able to improve the livelihood of farmers.
Yeah.
So getting the information of where the farmers are was also quite difficult. So I went to JQuat. I went to the different bodies that help with who are in the CalRO,
Yeah.
who are in the agricultural space, but still I couldn't get all the information. JQuat was telling me you can get some seedlings and you do the farming yourself. CalRO is saying that these farmers in these different places. I'm just wondering, okay, how don't you have a place where I can just get them? So CalRO told me you can get bananas from Kerogoya County. So I go to Kerogoya County, I go to the county
like a
government.
breakthrough.
Yes. So yes, it was like a breakthrough. And since I had been told being a woman in manufacturing can be challenging, so what did I do? I decided to carry along my husband, who is very supportive. Yeah, hoping that now I will be listened to.
Yeah.
So we went there with him, and we were just meant to stay there for 2 days.
Yeah.
We ended up staying almost a week, because when we went there, we did not get the information that we wanted. We're being moved from one office to the other. At some point, we're being told the person who is meant to give you the information hasn't come in yet.
Yeah.
You just have to wait. And when he came in, they had to quickly rush into another meeting.
Yeah.
So again, we had to wait. That's a whole morning gone. We were meeting him in the afternoon. So I'm like, if one person is not available, there should be someone else who can give the information.
Yeah.
It shouldn't just be one person who is handling that. And of course, even after meeting him, he says there's a procedure. You have to go back and write a letter.
Oh my goodness.
And then you come back. Then I'm
This
like,
era.
but don't you have any mapped farmers? Who are your farmers? You're doing very good business. It's so much. The economy in Kerogoya is built on the bananas.
Yeah.
You know, mainly the bananas.
Absolutely.
So I'm like, I mean, you should have mapped your farmers. So when somebody comes in and says, I want to see these numbers, who are these farmers doing this species
Yes.
of bananas or plantains, who are they?
Wow.
They hadn't mapped them. So we were quite disappointed. So by the end of the day, someone just told us, you know what? There is a market place tomorrow, and it's a big market where you will meet most of the farmers. So we had to take again another night so that we go to the market and now get information from ourselves on the ground.
I didn't want to cut you short on all that, you know, because I could feel this is just heartfelt.
There's really so much. I mean, there's a lot. I mean, moving from Kerogoya, going now to Western, going now to the coastal, going to Eastern, it's just the same thing.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And we wish you well. Mutisia, you can hear we have a lot of work. There's a lot of advocacy to be done there.
Exactly, exactly.
Because it can be this tough, especially for SMEs. You know, one of the key things that has been really coming out of late is that we're sort of like murdering young businesses even before they start, you know, at their childhood stage.
That is so true.
And something really needs to happen ASAP, and especially for you guys in government. We're going to talk about this later on. You know, Betty, let me come to you. Because you're also in this field and you have also your observations as well. And you know, I had Pauline mention about the challenges of just a woman in manufacturing. I know you do a lot as well under women in manufacturing as well. And so my question would be this: as a woman in manufacturing, what do we need to do to be able to embrace this inter-county trade? And maybe you can also add a little bit of some of your experience as well.
Thank you so much, Maina.
Yeah.
I can echo what my friends have said. Doing business in Kenya, I thought manufacturers should get a bit, they are the hub of the economy.
Absolutely.
They provide jobs.
Yeah.
Most of the manufacturers, they get an average of 300 employees per day. Be it casual, be it contractual,
Absolutely.
at least people have food to put on their table.
Yeah.
So I thought since manufacturers are the hub, government would have looked in a way to support them.
Yeah.
If I will echo what Mutisia have said,
Yes.
I know they did a research of around 1.2 to start a business.
Yeah.
But when I look, I'm in charge, by the way, I'm in charge of compliance and regulatory at Nolda Industries.
Okay.
It's more than 1.2.
Oh my.
I know. If I give you shock up, forget even about the distribution licenses we are talking about.
Yes.
You are yet to have renovation licenses. You get a building, you want to renovate, huh?
Yes.
You have to get a
You need to
renovation
get a
license
license
from
for
the
that.
public, from the public health.
Oh my.
On top of that, now that she spoke about the ETP.
Yeah.
It's a requirement. Okay, why do we need to have the effluent treatment plant? So that we recycle water, we discharge the water.
Yeah.
For you to have that plant in place, by the way, it costs around, the minimum amount you can have ETP is 10 million.
Yeah. What?
So basically not
You
one.
say 10 million, right?
Yes, I'm talking about 10 million.
Yeah.
And that is only having the plant. You've not operated, you've not started operating, because you will have the water technicians, you will have the chemicals to treat the water,
Yeah.
you will have discharge license. For you to use that water, you need to get a discharge license from the NEMA.
Yeah.
And for you to construct, you've already got, it's called EIA,
Yes, yeah.
Environmental Impact Assessment.
Oh my
You've not even
goodness.
started manufacturing whatever you're manufacturing.
Yeah.
And you already paid renovation license to renovate.
Yeah.
For every, there are these other bodies that come in.
Yeah.
For every product you make,
Yeah.
you have to get it, to get the license, the standard mark from KEPS.
Yeah.
And it poses a very, it's discouraging.
It's very
for
discouraging.
small
I mean,
businesses to start off.
Those are big figures, honestly.
So anytime, even when I get to hear government saying, youth, you should start businesses, and
Yeah.
I'm like, are you sure?
Are you sure what you're saying?
Are you sure?
Why they're not fully supporting?
Because businesses are there, people have ideas, people are innovative. Let me tell you, if you would ask each and every person, what would you like to do, you'd be shocked.
Yeah.
But starting off is the problem.
You're right.
And as my colleagues have said, another problem is
Yeah.
even getting that information to know where to start also becomes a problem.
Yeah.
We are business which have been in the field for over
Yeah.
10 years, but still we get surprises of licenses that we doesn't have.
Yeah. They just pop up.
They pop up, and Mutisia can attest, the Lower Eastern, the Machakos
Absolutely.
County.
And I get you. You know, and I think I really get what you're talking about, because what we're simply saying, we're not against the regulation,
True.
but we're against, duplication.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Some of the things that can be done by one body.
Exactly.
I think I've sat down and I had sometimes, we have duplication of roles where this one comes to do this one comes to do this, and then you have not even gone down onto the counties where they also want to do their own checks and all those kind of things and require all these licenses. I want to come to you, Mutisi, and ask you, what really, from where you sit, because you've observed this and you've brought in some of this, you've painted the environment very well of what is happening.
Yes.
What, in your opinion, should be done? Because we cannot, of course, we don't want to give up.
Yes.
We know the potential.
Yes.
This country needs manufacturers like never before.
Yes.
And in fact, I'll tell you some findings I found yesterday. We had an amazing session as well at the Kenya Association of Manufacturers.
Yes.
Maybe I should say it. We are actually on the losing downward trend, being the top leader in terms of exporting,
Yes.
because our neighbors are not sleeping.
Exactly.
And they're putting the system so much in place. And if we're not careful,
Yes.
this, let me use the word, this pride of us being number one
Yes.
is about to go very soon.
Exactly.
I mean, regions like Congo have already been overtaken.
Yes.
We have already been overtaken. We only heard about Congo, but by the time we're hearing about it, some other countries, our neighbors, they're not sleeping.
True.
And it's not that we want to do that, because Kenyans are hardworking. Manufacturers here are hardworking. They'll go spend a whole week just to get bananas for them to do work.
Yeah.
So, Mutisi, I know I'm saying a lot, but the question is this. From where you sit, what can we do so that at least especially we can have women in manufacturing? The reason why I'm saying women is because they rarely give up. Go ahead.
Okay, so if I can just start off without devolution came on board.
Yeah.
I think one of the key things that happened is that the national government was not very easy in releasing some of the function to the county government.
Yeah.
So hence the first problem that was created there was around duplication.
Yeah.
So for example, you may find if it's around an issue of environment, you
Yes.
end up having the county environment office and NEMA at the national level.
Yeah.
If it's an issue around compliance, you
Yeah.
have the department handling compliance at the county level, then the national level, the occupation and safety hazards and all that.
Yeah.
So back then, the national government and the current cycle of government
Yeah.
had a very good vision, whereby they did an audit of
Okay.
the national government entities.
Yes.
And the task force was chaired by Council Abdikadir, and they made recommendations around how can we merge some of the entities,
Okay.
what can be undertaken at the national level, and what needs to go down to the county level.
Yeah.
And then after that, there came up a bill on government-owned entities bill, but the same has not been implemented through. Of course, there is the political goodwill of if there is a board existing, we need to have someone there, and all
Yes.
that. There are all those politics I wouldn't want to get into.
Yes.
Now, coming to devolution, we have the Senate in place, and I must at times give credit to the Senate, because the Senate has been really trying to say,
Yeah.
give the counties more money,
Yeah.
so that they do not tax the already existing business. And there has always been a tussle between the National Assembly and the Senate, but at the end of the day, the Senate is for devolution. And talking about the Senate, and one of the breakthroughs that we have made is during the time that they were debating the third share of revenue. The third share of revenue is the formula used to give counties money,
Yeah.
for them to share equitable among the 47. There was one of the percentage points that was being given,
Yeah.
was the physical effort.
Oh my.
It was around 2%. So it meant if as a county you demonstrate more revenue generation, you'll get a bit more. But the Senate ended up dropping that recommendation from CRA,
Yeah.
which we felt as a business community was a win for us.
Yeah.
However, there was something else that the Senate was doing. Not the Senate, but both the Senate and the National Assembly. It was about county-owned source revenue raising bill.
Okay.
So we had the policy going through
Yeah.
the National Treasury and adopted at the Interbudget and Economic Council,
Sure.
chaired by the Deputy President. But the bill developed issues because there were checks and balances that the counties were not happy about.
Yeah.
And one of the checks and balances was whenever a county is introducing a levy or a fee or a charge, there was to be a committee
Yeah.
which will look at how predictable will that fee be. Is it being charged at the source county?
Yeah.
And how will it affect when you are moving across
Absolutely.
another county?
Yeah.
The counties were a bit uneasy on that because they insisted that the financial cycle does not give that opportunity for you to consult other people when you are introducing charges. And of course, they argued their resource envelope is a bit low. So they ended up dropping that.
Yeah.
But now, Maina, if I can just paint a picture of the progress that we have made now.
Go ahead.
Is that our engagement with the Council of Governors
Yeah.
and the National Government Implementation Committee, which
Yes.
is chaired by the CS National Treasury at the steering committee level and the PS Interior at the technical level.
Yeah.
We have made a breakthrough, and one of the agreements that we're having is that counties must put in place mechanism to recognize the fees, levies, and charges from the source county.
Absolutely.
And what we are now working towards is ensuring that if you feel the source county should charge the single business permit, what are the tendered services that are coming out of
Yeah,
it? So
yeah.
that when I'm Mazavi Foods and coming out of Nairobi and taking my goods to Kisumu, they will recognize that this manufacturer has already paid the requisite charges.
Absolutely.
And there is that trust that the compliance at the Nairobi City County is as good as our own compliance at Kisumu City County.
Yeah.
But going forward, I really hope that even as we have this in place, as the counties undertake their finance bills,
Yeah.
they can try as much as possible
Yeah.
to see what is happening at the source counties
Yeah.
and try as much as possible to be predictable to the businesses.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, look into grow in that space so that we may increase the resource envelope as well as opposed to what we are currently doing, which is milking the cow dry.
Absolutely.
For sure.
My goodness, and I think I want to applaud the efforts that you're doing.
Yes.
Because certainly, I think it's very sad when we feel that we are creating stringent measures within ourselves.
Yes.
We haven't even closed the international borders yet.
Right.
And so if just within counties we still have all this sort of like man eat man thing, you know, you're
Yes.
crossing my county, so you have to do this, and yet it's the same country.
Exactly.
And we are paying revenue to the same body.
Yes.
I think we need to really reevaluate this. Let me come to Azavi today. Pauline, sorry, you know, I'm
Yes.
calling you Azavi a lot, you know. You know, because I even feel like I should take a break by eating some, but don't worry. So far, so good. I will have to taste a bit. By the way, viewers, let me just show you a bit of what we have in the house. Huh? Have you ever had some matoke with chili? Oh my goodness, why is my favorite? Why are they plantains? You see?
Yeah.
We have some amazing, very nice blend. Look at the packaging. You know, yesterday in one of the conversations we had about market access,
Yes.
this is the comment I was thrown in,
Yes.
that sometimes some of the best flowers, because we export a lot of flowers,
Yes.
some of the best flowers that are known are Kenyan.
Yes.
But somebody said this, that sometimes to get to know the best flowers and buy that are from Kenya, look at the packaging because it's very poor. Can you imagine?
So sad.
That our packaging is one that
Yeah, so we
informs.
need to
The
do
quality
something.
inside is amazing,
Yeah.
but the packaging is whatever. So I just want to commend the packaging. It looks
So
amazing.
I think Keproba has a lot of work to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, that comment came from Kiproba. They're not listening, but they are. Let me ask you,
Yeah.
and I really wanted to just divert. We're coming back to the challenges
Yes.
because I'll ask you a lot of questions about that. First of all, are you already in the counties?
Yes.
I wanted to ask how many, and because I've said it, so how many? Are you close? If I go somewhere, are you okay? I think the question would be this: what's like your distribution channel? How are you navigating to your market?
Okay.
Yeah.
So recently I got into Naivas.
Oh,
yeah,
oh,
I was
lovely.
listed. So
Yeah.
that means that makes me now inter-county.
Inter-
I'm doing now inter-county trade.
You're
yeah?
a serious business person.
Yes. So what happened when I got the listing and I was told now I am ready to go. I got the POs from the
Yeah.
various outlets.
Yeah.
Then I said now doing my production.
Okay.
Then I get to know that there are these challenges, there
Yeah.
are these barriers
Yeah.
to trade,
Yeah.
whereby before you move into the next county, you need to take your products to be tested all over again. And I kept saying, but I already have KEBs. And I'm told
no. They asked you to test again.
you have to take them to the lab there to be tested, so that you are licensed.
County.
Yes, so that you are licensed.
Oh no.
So again, so each and every county that I have to go to, almost 6 counties, because I said I'll start with a few. I have to pay for each of those. Then on top of that, the logistics, taking them there. If I use a branded vehicle, and I was thinking, okay, I need to now get a loan to get a distribution vehicle, then I'm told, oh, if you get one, you have to brand it. And when you brand it, there is an amount you need to pay. And this information I was getting from the Melvin Mentorship Program.
Yes.
I'm one of the beneficiaries of Flora Mutahi.
Wow.
And I asked those who have been in manufacturing longer than I have been.
Shout out to Flora. Thank you so much for what you're doing. This is one of your mentees. Look
She's
at her.
an amazing
shining.
woman.
But go ahead. Yeah.
So they told me, fine, if you use your branded vehicle, you have to pay for that. Then there's the cess fees that you have to pay from one place to the other. And I just looked at that and I was like, oh, this for me now to take my product again to
Yeah.
the other counties,
Yeah.
that's again an extra cost. So I held back on that and I decided, you know what, let me first get everything ready,
Yeah.
get the it's actually the financials. Recently I went looking for money and I was told my book of accounts look really terrible. Yeah. And also reason being, it's because of what you have mentioned. You're always paying for something. You're always constantly paying. So so I held that back and I said I'll move back to Nairobi,
Yeah.
distribute in Nairobi and Machakos as I wait to get all the other licenses and permits that are required.
Wow.
Yeah, so you can imagine it's such a bottleneck. You want to grow, you want to develop as a business, you want to develop the communities all over because the market has demand is there. The people from Kisumu, from Mombasa, recently from Mombasa, someone was asking me, where are your products? Where
Yeah.
can we get them? And I'm like, okay, I'm in Naivas right now, so you'll be getting them soon.
Yeah.
So I have to disappoint them because they have to wait a bit more longer before I can get there. Yeah.
My goodness. And really to appreciate Naivas for what they have done.
Yeah.
But, you know, just to hear Mutisia that she has to go to different labs again.
Yes.
It's like we don't trust our own labs here. You know, I think honestly that's a bit ridiculous.
Yes.
And just to note that this is just a sample
Yeah.
of many other manufacturers, and this is what they have to go through. Certainly, something needs to happen.
Yeah. Just one more thing.
Just-
I had actually thought of, okay, fine, because of all these costs, how about what would it take for me to lower my production costs if I move closer to the farmers?
Yeah.
So if I move to Eastern, I open a small premise, so just work closely with farmers, get them dryers,
Yeah.
solar dryers, to just do everything at that point. That will definitely reduce. But again, there are all these costs that you have to still incur. So I held that back.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, just before we proceed on, I want to pour some of this amazing. I
sure.
just got a bite of some of.
Oh, nice.
Are these some of the bananas from Kerogoya or something?
Yes, from Kerogoya.
Now you see,
Yeah.
all Kenyan, buy Kenyan, deal Kenyan.
Yes.
Yes.
Wanted to have some. Let me just put that for you there. Can fill with some nice tea.
Yes, it would.
There you go.
Melvin teas.
Let me go back to my mic. Okay, so lovely. I mean, I'm honestly a bit, to be honest, not very happy.
Yes.
Why? Because of these things that we're talking about. And I keep saying, we are here saying, oh, we need to create jobs. We need to do all these things. But we are really stifling the process that should be there. One of our neighboring countries, for you to just go and start business, it's free.
Yeah,
They'll even
true.
give you tax breaks for all those kind of things. And I want to bring you in, Betty, so that at least you can, key yourself in as well. I don't know what has been your experience as well, crisscrossing these things. Have you gotten in there yet? Or are you looking at it and saying, okay, from where I am, because women are watching and you're representing them here, what's your comment on all this?
Okay, for us, we have we started a little bit earlier, so we are almost in 40 counties.
Yeah.
We recently started exporting to our neighboring countries.
Yeah.
But one thing I can tell you for sure, it is easier to buy potatoes in Uganda than in Tanzania and Kenya. But we are based in Kenya.
Yes.
Yeah, as you said, I think the government can look on how to give manufacturers rebates, especially even they can just do some graduated scale. When you reach to this, let's say turnover, at least you get this. So at least we might encourage more people to come in. Someone like Pauline, this
Yeah.
is a big business. This is a business going somewhere, and you say yes, variety from plantains,
Okay.
potatoes. She can be encouraged. And
Okay.
let me tell you,
Yeah.
bananas are everywhere.
Yeah.
They're everywhere.
I come from Meru. They have a staple food. Bananas are everywhere.
Very true. Very true.
And funny enough, when you go to those rural homes, they're even on the road.
Yeah,
You
true.
just pluck them. and actually, none of the banana wouldn't even care. Why are you
Yes.
plucking my banana?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's so surprising. You can't get those bananas to Nairobi.
Oh no.
You can't even. If you have a small baby,
Yeah.
banana goes for around 40 bob, three bananas.
Yeah.
No wonder most of the children in Nairobi are malnourished.
Yeah.
It's a rare
And
commodity.
this is
I'd say.
yeah, it's a rare commodity. They can go everywhere.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. This is very sad. And by the way, I want to throw in a follow-up question, because now you're sitting in a place where you've seen all these bodies working in. And, my question to you would be this, Betty. Since you're now working in manufacturing farm as well, as you've rightly put it, what's the percentage of women in the production line do you see on average? Is it on a high or is it low from where you sit?
Mine, funny enough, we have a number of women, but
Lovely.
most of them are in the informal sector.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because now being formal
Yes.
attracts the government tariffs.
Oh yeah.
So you decide to go, ile tunaitanga chini ya maji. So in the market you will see a lot of product, a lot of snacks, but
Yes.
you don't know who the owner is. But somehow they exist.
Yeah.
If we could formalize all those businesses, basically, even the government would collect more.
Yeah.
Women will take the day, definitely.
That's true.
But from where you sit again, I know we harassed a bit of Mutisia to tell us more. What can be done? Because you see them, they're in the informal sector. There could be more if they were formalized. What's your advice? Because somebody may be listening here. What can we do to have them more on the production lines?
Rebates, and I will repeat, rebates and reduce taxation.
Yes.
That's all.
Okay.
The only problem we have is over-taxation.
Oh my goodness.
Nothing much.
Oh, you've touched the button. Overtaxation.
Yeah. Double taxation or triple.
Yeah.
Goodness, let me just get into some of the comments we have here. Can I have contacts of the food manufacturing lady? Oh, people already asked.
Okay.
So please answer. Where can they get Azavi Foods? How can they get? Are they somewhere online anywhere?
Yes, you can get them in Naivas, Seattle, Waterfront, and Capital Center.
Yeah.
You can get them online. We have a website, www.azavifoods.com.
Okay.
We are in other outlets like Art Cafe. Several outlets in Nairobi.
Even Art Cafe.
You can follow us on also social media, on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can I confess something?
Yes.
You know, when I picked this, I tore it, not knowing I don't need to tear it. I just need to flip it nicely. Our packaging is super. So please, if you saw me doing that, don't do that. Lovely. I just wanted to spell out Azavi. It's Azaavi, just in case you're asking. That's Azavi. All right?
Yeah.
So people can find you there. That's somebody who was asking there.
Sure.
Nyakwara did great conversations going on here. Absolutely. We love that you're listening in. And but I want to ask you, if you're in business, what has been your experience doing intercounty business, intercounty business, so that at least we can do this? I mean, would you say you brought in the fact that you're really trying to, advocate for this, and you spoke of some strides that are there.
Yes.
And this is my worry.
Yes.
We are just getting to probably have a new government.
Yes.
And we are very happy that devolution, as you said, has happened.
Yes.
But I'll ask you, do we have things in place, or is it going to be a new government coming with new things,
Yes.
and maybe even frustrating the efforts that have already been done there? From where you see, what's your observation? And my goodness, what can we do to solidify this so we can have some smooth running?
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, Maina. And one of the things that as business community we
Yes.
always worry of is the disruptions around every election cycle, because we end up having lower GDP growth,
Yeah.
the holding back of capital because people are worried of the political risk that exists. But again, it also presents us as an opportunity
Yes.
to engage the political aspirants.
Yeah.
And I'm saying this is a good thing also because one of the commitments that we are looking to the person who becomes the president in the next government is their commitment towards the manufacturing agenda. Just the same way we had a commitment in the current government to grow manufacturing to 15%. Unfortunately, it has not grown to that because we are hovering somewhere around 7.5%.
Yeah.
So you hope for the continued support on that.
Yeah.
And even though COVID might have been a bad thing, it opened our eyes that one day, one time, imagine the ICs can shut down.
You're right.
It will depend on your own country.
You're right, yeah.
So it offers an opportunity so that anyone out there who is writing the manifesto for the presidential candidates kindly have manufacturing in your agenda.
Absolutely.
Now moving to the second layer of government, which is the county governments, we are looking into having an engagement with the gubernatorial candidates and the senatorial candidates.
Yeah.
Want to have a commitment because some of these things do not need an overhaul of the constitution.
Yeah.
You can just declare as a political aspirant that when I'm coming into government, I'll give rebates to women in manufacturers.
Yeah.
I'll give a rebate of 1 year, 2 years, 3 years to the youth who are entering into manufacturing. Within my county, for example, there's a county like Nakuru.
Yes.
They have decided they are not going to charge a distribution license to anyone crossing across the county.
Lovely. Yeah.
We had a commitment from the government of Uasin Gishu that within the 2 terms that the governor is in office, he will not increase any of the licenses.
Yeah.
So that shows you that you really need political goodwill as we try and strive to have the regulation in place. Yeah. That's what we are encouraging. Then the last thing that I believe will also work for us as manufacturing with the manufacturers within the counties is the regional economic blocks.
Absolutely.
So like in the central Kenya, they had a joint resolution that they are going to recognize all these licenses coming from among the 11 counties. Yeah. If we can have the same in Jumuiya County La Pwani or the same in the Lake Regional Economic Block, that would be more easier for even the businesses to
Absolutely. And just to stick on you, the issue of women and SMEs remaining informal, as Betty has said, you know, does it have a relative impact to the value of their businesses from where you see it? And what should be done to formalize these businesses?
Okay. Yes, if I can just quote the statistical figures.
Yes.
For the first time ever as we continue tracking retail and wholesale, we had a retail and wholesale sector, and retail and wholesale sector is the malls that you are seeing coming up.
Yeah.
For the first time being above manufacturing, because right now the retail and wholesale is at 7.6.
Yeah.
Manufacturing is around 7.2.
Uh-huh.
That was the first time that it ever happened. And again, I go back to what Betty mentioned about being informal.
Yeah.
So for example, today, and one of the exercises that we did somewhere, I was in a conference, was you checking what you're having, what you are wearing, what you are holding, where is it made.
Yeah.
So like right now, we only have this made in Kenya. Most probably the China way is imported from somewhere. So what does that tell you about the value? It tells you that we are striving more and more to export our goods, to export labor to other countries that are bringing in goods to us.
Yeah.
And as the national government, we are striving to get the import declaration levy, the railway development levy, because it's easier when the goods is cost to charge them that levy.
You're right.
Instead of us knowing that, if you have a business that is stabilized, they will be paying payee.
Yeah.
You will have increased contribution to the NHIF cover, to the NSSF cover.
Yeah.
And of course, there is the trickle-down effect, because currently, indirectly, one employee supports almost 10 people indirectly. So that's what we are missing out. We are focusing on the smaller picture of how much can we charge on a container that is down there, as opposed to how can we grow the business that is currently existing for it to bring more
Very
revenue.
true.
Yes.
Pauline, let me ask you, because now at least you're the person on the ground with the Zavi Foods, because the last time I met you, you were still trying to penetrate the market.
Yes.
And I'm very happy with the strides that you've made, just to hear that you're now in Naivas, and I can just walk in. I no longer have to call you.
Yes.
I can just walk into Naivas and get my nice crispy crisp. What was the challenge of getting access to just even our own local market? You know, I know that's one of the challenges, but how was it? How was it trying to penetrate?
It's not easy.
Yeah.
You go in, and the first thing they ask you, are you in any other outlet? And they want to, so when you're saying, I'm in nutrition shop, I'm in the small outlets, they're like, who are these? Are you in any big supermarkets? And I'm like, no, I want to start with you. I know I've approached several.
Yeah.
There's a starting point somewhere, so I'm approaching you. And they just take you around the margins.
Yeah.
Remember now the government is taking up a lot of fees.
Yeah.
Then here, the margins that they want is above 30, 35.
Yeah.
Which affects also your cost, your selling price, you know? Because you either absorb some of it, and some of it goes to the customers.
Yeah.
So penetrating the market hasn't been easy, but what I have done and relied on, I'm a marketer by profession. Yeah. So I have relied mainly on marketing, whether it's word of mouth, digital, and I'm glad now because of COVID. Everyone now has embraced digital innovation. So those are the platforms that I totally dived into. I decided, well, let me just use the platform that I currently have, what is in my hand right now, that I could use to penetrate the market. And of course, with doing that, with people being in my platform and people saying you need to be in Naivas, you need to be in all these other outlets. So what I'll do is just take screenshots and send. So like I'll call Flora and I say, okay, people want the things in Naivas, help me. So like, here's the number of the person you're going to talk to, now do the work yourself. So that's what I've done. I've relied on my network. I've relied on my mentors. I'm so glad Camis has given us an opportunity to engage Carrefour in the same room and many others. And I just hope now with all that, with CAM's assistance, I'll be out there.
Wow, lovely. And we really wish you well. We want to see you everywhere. You know, I'm just
I
wondering,
want to feed Kenya.
You want to feed Kenya?
Yes.
Because I'm looking at this in the package. First of all, I like the made in Kenya. Because we all about buy Kenya, build Kenya.
Make it Kenya.
But I see you have all the stamps necessary, including KEBS everywhere else, everything else. Why would it be trouble after our own regulations have already said this is safe and good to go? I think it's all about
competition. When I'm being asked, are you in any major outlet? So they're like, okay, fine. Oh, you're in. Fine. Now we can stock you. So I think it's all about competition.
Yeah. Okay. Mutisi, I have a question for you before I get back to Betty as well.
Yes.
So, the WIM program,
Yes.
is deliberate in trying to get more women in the manufacturing sector across